Today we're going to learn how to talk about time, routines, and frequency in English. This is very important because we use these structures every day to talk about our schedule, our habits, and our daily life. We will learn three main things: prepositions of time, the verb have, and adverbs of frequency. First, let's talk about prepositions of time: in, on, at. These small words help us say when something happens. We use in for general time periods, for example, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in the day. We use it for specific times, for example, at 1 p.m., at 2:30 p.m., at 8:20 a.m., at night. We use on for days of the week, for example, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Sundays, on Friday. Sometimes we use more than one together. I go to work at 8 in the morning on Monday. She studies at 9 in the evening on Thursday. We also use from to talk about a time period that starts and ends at a specific time. For example, I play football from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. He works from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We study from 9 to 11. Another useful preposition is for, which tells us how long something lasts. For example, I work for 8 hours on Monday. I exercise for 1 hour. I read for 1 hour every day. Two more important time words are before and after. These tell us order. For example, number 1 is before number 2. Number 3 is after number 2. I have a shower before I get dressed. I get dressed after I have a shower. These words help us describe routines step by step. Now let's learn the verb have, which we use to talk about possession and also activities. The forms are I have, you have, he has, she has, it has, we have, they have. For example, we have a meeting at 11:30 a.m. She has drinks with colleagues after work. They have lunch at 12 p.m. We also use have with common activities. For example, have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner, have a meeting, have drinks. Next, let's talk about adverbs of frequency, which tell us how often something happens. These adverbs usually go between the subject and the verb. For example, John usually has dinner at 8 p.m. She often walks to work. They always study at night. But with the verb to be, the adverb goes after the verb. For example, Germans are usually tall. I am always on time. Here are common adverbs of frequency from 0% to 100%. Never, hardly ever, sometimes, often, usually, always. For example, I never drink coffee. He hardly ever reads. We sometimes go to the cinema. They often play football. She usually wakes up early. I always brush my teeth. Let's look at an example schedule. Peter always goes to work. Peter sometimes has a meeting. Peter hardly ever reads a book. Peter never exercises. Peter usually watches TV. Peter often meets his friends. Peter sometimes has dinner at a restaurant. These sentences show how we use frequency adverbs to describe routines. When we talk about routines with days of the week, we usually use the plural form. For example, I play football on Mondays. I have dinner with my family on Sundays. I have drinks with my colleagues on Fridays. This shows that the action happens regularly. Finally, let's review some useful daily routine vocabulary. Wake up, have breakfast, brush your teeth, have a shower, get dressed, go to work, go to school, meet friends, come home, make dinner, go to bed, sleep. For transport words we can use bus, train, car, taxi, bicycle, airplane, underground, walking. Example sentences: I wake up at 7 a.m. I go to work by bus. I meet friends in the evening. I go to bed at 11 p.m. So, today we learned how to use prepositions of time like in, on, at, from, to, for, before, after, how to use the verb have, and how to use adverbs of frequency to describe routines. These structures help you talk about your daily life clearly and correctly in English.